this is a different, something completely different. If you had seen, you know, my cooking video, oh sorry about that guys, if you had seen my cooking video on a Sunday, I did say that I was going to show you guys, you know, upload a video on how I got my hair done. So I'm here with one of the best hairstylists the UK has got to offer. No cap, argue with your keyboards, don't come here arguing with me. If you don't know her, well now you will. She's a wonderful friend, she's a beautiful hairstylist. In fact, her fingers are magic. That's all I can say. This is Kenny hair. I mean, you guys, every time you see my videos and you see my hair looking all nice and all of that, it's all thanks to her. I am going to be linking her Instagram handle down below. Kelly, do you want to say something?
Hi, I'm going to glam Mina out today. Not that she needs a lot of work, she's gorgeous already.
Oh, thank you.
So I'll sort her out and hopefully you guys come on the journey with us.
Please do. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to drop a nice comment, and most importantly, do not forget to check her out because you'll be glad you did. All right, let's get started. Right guys, so Kelly has done my pen roll, and the only reason why I didn't film this process is because she's laughing. It's because I've got a very, I would say an odd shape of head. Plus, you know, after I had my child, my front hair literally fell out. So it's quite embarrassing to show people, you know, my hair pen rolls and all of that. So we've just gone through the process of getting my pen rolls done, and then she's also put on the bald cap for me. Now she's put some glue, and then she put on the cap, and then I had to stay under the dryer, but you can use a hand dryer if you're home and you're doing this at home. And you know, she had to let it dry first, and then she just cut it to the shape that she wants it to look like. And right now she's just putting my foundation on the bald cap, so it's got the same skin color as me, so that when I wear my wig it feels flawless. Exactly. Flawless and natural. So that's just what we're doing right now. It's actually not difficult at all.
It's okay not to use the cap at the end of the day, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think using the cap creates a barrier between your skin and too much of whatever adhesive you're using. So for example, if you're going to use got2b glue and you know you're not going to have your wig on for like on end, then it's fine not to use the bald cap, because those like stuff like got2b, I prefer the olive oil, the ORS brand. Those ones are not as harsh on your skin. But if you're going to use proper wig adhesive, so you're talking about the lace glues, like the categories of the ghost bonds and the bold holds, I would always suggest using a bald cap just to create some form of barrier between your skin. Even if prior to putting this on Mina's head, we've used something called Skin Protect. That's also very important because it's going to also create an extra barrier, or else, especially if you have sensitive skin, you tend to break out. And also the Skin Protect helps in managing whatever form of humidity. So for example, if Mina is prone to sweating or oiling out a lot, the Skin Protect is going to create a barrier so her wig doesn't quickly slide back. So to be fair, you're not using the bald cap at home, because I'm sure you use ORS or got2b, it's fine, because probably in 2-3 days you're going to take it off. But if you're going to use something like this, putting it directly on your skin, especially the fact that we're going to do like 2-3 layers, I think it's too much for your skin. So this would help.
Just protect it. Yes, so you guys have heard it all from Kelly. She's just explained why you need to use the bald cap, but she's also listed advantages of using the bald cap, and she's also listed pros of, you know, going without. So you've got options. So Kelly has had to put the wig on just to have a feel for where it's going to sit. And there's something she always says, when you wear your wig, before you glue it, just put it on and try using your 4 fingers, excluding your thumb, just as a rule so that you can gauge the space between your brows and
where your wig should lay.
And where your wig should lay.
I mean, that's, you use your 4 fingers, and once you put it, if you feel that your little finger is coming too low, then you know you're supposed to move your wig back. So it should just sit, ideally, it should sit, just your 4th finger should sit where your brows are about to, well, if your brows were to meet, it should sit there. So at least that way your wig is not looking fake, it's sitting just right where it should. So it works out, and then your wig looks natural, not that it's sitting too far back or too forward. So I like to do baby hairs before, simply because I feel it gives me an idea of also where to set the wig, so her baby hairs or whoever's baby hairs is not too forward. So for example, my darling Mina loves baby hairs, so I try to do her baby hairs to life first and then put the wig on her head just to gauge. The thing about a frontal is sometimes it's not every time you put it on is going to sit the same way. So I've done all that part, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to lay her wig. I'm going to use wig adhesive. I'm going to do 3 layers because I know Mina likes to have her wigs on for quite a while. So I'm going to use 3 layers, and then when I do the 3 layers, you should see us doing a bit of that, and then I'll put her under the head dryer.
If you don't have the privilege of having a standing dryer, you could literally use a hand dryer.
You can use a hand dryer. Obviously, it's going to take you slightly longer, and you have to make sure it dries.
Kelly has put, how many layers have you put?
I think I've put 2.
2 layers. So we're just going to show you, she's just going to do the 3rd layer on camera so that you guys can see how it's done. But
so ideally, I would like to work in sections. When I'm spreading the glue down, I would work by putting little dots, because you see, when you put too much at a go, you're not able to sort of concentrate on where it's supposed to lie. I tend to put the dots and then take the glue using the edge of my tail comb. It's preferable if you're doing it at home, use this. You have more control. And then you take it back, not forward. Take it back, not forward. Now the reason why you're taking it back is simply because you don't need that glue much more in front. Remember, you're placing your wig, you've already measured where your wig would be. So you don't want to put it too much in front of it. It should sit slightly in front because your lace frontal is going to sit less than half an inch on your own skin. Ideally, it's supposed to stick on your ball cap. That's the whole essence. So you do it, you spread your glue in sections. So take it back, not forward. Take it back. And if you're working with glue, you really have to work. If you're working with wig adhesive, you have to work quite fast, because most of them, as soon as they come in contact with your skin, they start doing the job of drying off. So I've left the middle section. I'm coming to work at her ear section. Now at the ear section, I always say take it as if you're doing a part. So I've put some dots on here, and then I'm going into the L part by her ear, because the pesky part about frontals is the ears always tend to lift faster. So you have to make sure you do that quickly, and then take it back. At the ear, you take it in, not back, but in. So basically, you lift it up. And before you do a new layer, make sure that the first layer you've done is dry. Well, not dry, but tacky. So by the time we go back to Mina's middle layer, I hope you can see it. I guess she'll try and zoom in.
Yeah,
it's already sticky. So this is a good way. If I was going to do an extra layer, I would be able, it's a good foundation for the next layer. So on here, as I said, we're going to do the L. And just do it in dots. Don't put, the difference between this and stuff like the ORS is that with the ORS, you have the tendency to be able to easily wipe it off, but with glue you don't have that leeway. So you will be doing yourself a disfavor if you just put a splodge and not work in sections.
That's me.
To make sure, before you use your what's that thing we put? The
Skin protector.
The skin protector. Wipe your skin clean. So always clean with rubbing alcohol. You use the skin protector as well. It also helps for your skin not to be too dried out. But you do that, and then it's gotten tacky. If you can see, it's gotten tacky. So this is the best time to lay it. So we're going to lay it, and then you can lay it all at once. But I would usually start with the middle. I will start with the middle, bring her wig down to the middle, and then when I'm sure that the middle is laid where I want it to, it's easy to adjust the other side. Because I sometimes feel if you start on one side, by the time you get to the other side, you may realize that the other side, one side has taken more of the lace, and then you're fidgeting, and because it's laid down, you can't pull it. So I always start at the middle.
Okay. Sorry you guys can't really see this bit, but Kelly has to work in front of me. But if you're doing this at home, you can do it in front of the mirror, and I think you'll be fine.
Okay, I've done the middle section. This is the side now. And this is where I would need Mina's help. Just 1 second. I know for people the side is always difficult, and that's just because for some weird reason our hair tends to lift up faster by the side. So it's important for you to take your time when you're doing this, when you're laying the side of your wig at home. And you see, with laying wigs, don't rush it. I think that's the problem. People rush it because people assume that, oh, if I just do it blush. That's why there's always a difference between when you see people on Instagram or you see people on YouTube, they don't rush it. So I'm really happy that Mina is doing this, simply because she's giving you insights on how it's laid. So I've done that side. Mina, hold that down.
Okay.
And then I'm going to bring this side down. I know it seems as if I'm heavy-handed, but I'm really not heavy-handed. You just have to make sure it aligns with your cap, because what you don't want is bits of your cap showing. I used to make that mistake before, but as I said, I'm used to doing Mina's hair, so I tend to know where her lace is going to sit. Don't forget the sides. The sides are very, very important because that's where would usually lift up before every other part. So you have to make sure that whatever you do, that your sides are really intact. For people at home, what you can do is take a bit of hair out. Let me put this behind. Yeah. Take a bit of hair out and then put pressure on that part. Mm-hmm. If you put pressure on that part, then you take your other hand and you hold. You can hold the hair, not to pull it out, but to hold it. So Mina, let go. So because the wig adhesive was already dry, this side of Mina's hair is literally, Mina, I want you to explain to them whether you can feel the tension in terms of this stock.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, so that was why I started from the middle. I started from the middle because it's easier to start from the middle, because if you start from one end, you tend not to know, but you're pulling, and when you pull, one side will end up having more hair than the other. I would take some on my hand, and then where I feel there are pesky baby hairs that have decided to go on their own way, I just use the end of my comb and the bottom to work on it well. Remember, some of the baby hairs have already adhered to the gel, which means Mina's baby hair is just going to be just right for the amount of time she needs it to stay. It's not going to look fake, because if you see, for example, this one is still moving, so it's not going to look fake. Are laid.
All right, guys. I'm sure you can see that.
To
Well
the other side.
laid. Okay, now this is
And we
looking
have
absolutely
style.
good.
Today, Mina wants to go for a what do you want to go for?
I want to do a half ponytail.
Yeah.
So
Mina
with
wants
curls.
to do a half ponytail with curls, and we're going to be attaching a bundle. I'm going to sort of blow out her hair first, and then we'll come back to do a sort of mini talk through before we do the whole style. Yeah, we're going to use this as her extra. We're going to do this, and if you're styling your hair, I would say tie your frontal down, especially if you used grip gels like ORS or Got to Be. Tie your hair down first. For me now, we can get away with it, but I still wouldn't do it. I would still tie Mina's hair down, just because sometimes we think it's dry, but it's not really dry, and then the pulling. So always tie your hair down before you start styling. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do.
So Kelly has curled the back.
I try to do is to create more volume. Instead of having all the curls in one particular pattern, I tend to alternate. So if I'm going to take the one this way for one curl, I take the other one this way. That creates volume. Do one curl going outwards, do one curl going inwards, outwards, inwards, outwards, inwards. You create more volume that way.
Nah, this is crazy. I have just learned something. This is crazy.
So
all right, so we're just gonna create curls. The finished look.
shake.
I mean, this is so amazing. I'm just gonna come closer so you guys can see what she's done with the front. The baby hair looks so amazing. It's well laid, properly laid. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, do not forget to subscribe, do not forget to like, do not forget to comment, and most importantly, do not forget to check Kiani Hair on Instagram.
Yes.
You'll be glad you did.
Bye.
Bye.